Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new Prog Report interview. This is Roie, and I'm very pleased to welcome back to the podcast amazing, legendary lead singer from Dream Theater, James LaBrie. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too, Roy. Hey, I remember last time I was with you, weren't we? We went to a restaurant together. Is that right? We had dinner on
Yes,
Long Island. Am I right?
yes, that was it was a pretty awesome night. It was a nice dinner, nice fancy dinner, and some shenanigans ensued later on. It was fun
Well,
times.
some shenanigans, but what was really cool, and this is very appropriate, is we got in the car and we were on our way back to the hotel, and we were all singing "No More Tears," Ozzy
Man, that's a
Osbourne.
memory on you. That's amazing.
Do you
You're
remember
right,
that?
100%. Yes, in the
Yeah, we
car,
were
and
singing it in the car. Yeah.
that was it's something about it. I remember just we had a hilarious laugh because I don't remember what it was, but something about when at the end of the song when the voice comes on and says there's a hand in the bush or something, and then we were waiting for that, and then right as that was about to come on, the GPS in the car said make a right turn here.
That's
It was
right. You're
we
right.
were and then we were cracking up. It was, I mean,
Oh
it doesn't
yeah.
sound funny explaining it, but we
I
were
know. I
dying.
know. No, you had to be there. You had to be there.
Yeah,
It was kind of like, shut up. You.
yeah. It's like, well,
Anyways,
yeah,
it was good.
and of
It was
course
fun.
everything that happened with Ozzy. So it's good to bring
Yeah,
up
I
something
know.
fun
No,
about
for
that.
sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So man, lots to talk about. I know you guys are
Yeah.
about to kick off the U.S. tour, which is going to be awesome. Super excited about that. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
Before we jump into that, just revisiting a little bit because I did get to see a couple of the 40th anniversary shows. I saw the London O2 one,
Hmm.
which was just nuts. Maybe one of the best concerts easily that I've seen ever.
Wow,
The
that's
whole
awesome.
vibe, the show, the whole thing was just nuts. Yeah, I mean, you
Right.
know, I don't, you were there obviously,
Yeah.
and then the Radio City one, which was really cool too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was very a special evening because we had never played the Best of Times
right,
live. Anyways, it was an amazing evening because we were able to. It was our last show of that particular U.S. tour or North American tour, if you want to say. And yeah, it was epic. Everything we were all firing on all pistons, and it was just an amazing evening. Everything was just falling into place as we had envisioned it, and it was beautiful. And I'm glad we recorded that the best of times because I said, you know what? Oh my God, man, that was such a pinnacle moment of that evening. And
yeah.
yeah, it was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, other than those big moments that we just talked about for the tour, I mean, any other special highlights for you? Any special shows or things that you remember
Oh my
from
God.
this last year?
Oh yeah. I mean, we just finished the European tour. What was that? Like almost 4 weeks ago. We well, not quite. Yeah. But anyways, July 30th was our last show. And we actually finished in Orange, France. And the one thing that we did on this European leg is we played all these incredible, iconic venues, but they were like 3,000 years old. We played Pompeii,
Yeah,
which was on the
amazing.
bucket list, and I know everyone was aware of that. And we played Echoes. Of course, we got to play Echoes from Pink Floyd, and not only that, like when we were in Plovdiv, we played the Antique Theater. I think that's like 2,900 years old. When we were in where was the other place there? Well, like I said, like in Orange, it was just this incredible background. You probably saw some of the pics
Sure.
on online, but just to be walking into these venues, and it's funny because they all have these restrictions, right? I mean, you can't bring in all of your production because there's when you're hanging all these lights and you have these huge lighting production, you need trusses and you need all these things going on so you can hang your points and bring your lights up high. and we weren't able to do that in some of these venues. They're like, no, that's not possible. You can't have that because of the structure and the history. But you can bring in some of the production, and we were fortunate enough to be able to still bring in enough that we could still put on the kind of show that we wanted to present to our fans. But it was epic just to be at all of these historic places, and some of them that we've been talking about. I know that Pompeii, we'd talked about that maybe 25 years ago, going, hey, you know, there's one venue that we got to play. It'd be amazing to play Pompeii. And it was always on Mike's list, Mike Portnoy's
Yeah.
list. And in fact, to the point that he was so emotionally moved, he had tears and coming down his face when we were playing, and especially during echoes and that. But and I get it, just because it's arrived and it's realized for everything that we thought it would be. And yeah, so I would say this tour has really brought us so many moments that we're going, my God, wasn't that an incredible venue? Or wasn't, the fans were unbelievable and the reaction is unbelievable. And we're experiencing that every night, even if we're not playing some of these historic places or iconic places. Just the reaction throughout this tour has been overwhelmingly positive. Especially one of the songs that really hits me every night, and to see how the people are reacting, is Midnight Messiah. In
Yeah.
fact, we're seeing mosh pits in front of us again.
That's nice.
We haven't seen that in many years, and all of a sudden we're seeing all these mosh pits, and I'm like, I'm from the stage. You go for it, man, and you want to go for it, you
Well, those
know.
big metal
But yeah.
festivals sort of allow you to have those
Oh yeah.
moments, those ones in Europe that are those
Oh
are
my
amazing.
God. Yeah. 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 For sure.
Very cool.
Hmm.
I mean, speaking of the new record too, of course, I mean, it's been out now. It feels like forever. It's only been out, 8 months or 7 months or something like
Yeah,
that, but
you're
it
right.
feels like
About eight
feels
months.
like
Yeah.
feels like a long time.
Yeah.
Um, and now you're getting ready to take that whole thing out on tour. And I know that's been a big point of emphasis for you guys because you always like to play the full albums, and it's a
Yeah.
thing a lot of the fans love to see. Um, Tell us what you can a little bit about the work behind the scenes on this and getting ready to play this thing.
Well, the work is first and foremost to be able to play the songs
Yeah.
and be able to play the album. But no, I mean, it's a matter of executing the album as you've heard it, and making the live environment, as you said, that's a good word to emphasize. Truly, so many incredible moments throughout that album. I mean, I personally cannot wait to do the Shadow Man.
Oh yeah.
The big closer, the big epic on the song on the album. I was singing through that actually right here in my studio the other day. I was just like, I put the headphones on and I'm just singing through it and rehearsing like from beginning to end the album. And when I got to that song, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be such a great closure, to that evening. And but I think aside from that, it's all about coordination with our production team. So making, our engineer, our front of house sound man, and our monitor man. Like we have, Ace Baker is out with us as our front of house engineer, and then we have James Meslin as our monitor engineer, and then we have Steve Baird as our lighting director, and Megan is she's doing all of our lasers, but there's so much going on, and
Yeah.
all of these have to synchronize together to make sure that everything is coming off both musically, sonically, and visually. And so it's just a matter of like full production rehearsals to get all of that together. Everybody comfortable with their parts, and then to bring it together and be a unit, and be synced up to one another and collective. So, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what we do when we're getting ready for any tour or any leg of a tour, is to rehearse and just get it to the point where you're tight, you know that it's going to come over exactly as it was intended to be heard, and then we feel good about it, and then it's a matter of let's get out there and kick some butt. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear a lot of these songs for the first time live. I mean, Bend the Clock is just an outstanding
Oh
moment. That's
yeah.
going to be amazing to see. And then the middle section of Shadow Man is just, I can't
Oh,
wait to see
isn't that
how they,
insane?
I
I
want to
mean,
see how
you
they
know
pull that
what?
off.
You know what? I mean, I'm a huge fan at that point. Whenever I hear the song and then it goes into that, and I'm just like, oh my God. I remember my son and I, Chance, we were driving down, we were going down around the Toronto area, and we're in the vehicle and we're just cranking it. I mean, we had it just blasting, and it got into that section, the middle section of the Shadow Man, and we're like going, look, we're looking at each other, we're going, because it's just so uh, magnificent. I have to say that because it's just all these different points and turns and vibe going on. It's very very dynamic. It's
Yeah.
quite the ride, and to experience it driving down the highway is even better. I've always said my favorite way of listening to any album or any music whatsoever is to be driving. For whatever reason, I just sink into it. It's like a vortex. It brings me right in to the core of what the song was meant to be heard like, you know,
The car's the
or
best
album.
place
Yeah,
to hear music. Do you guys
yeah.
still do that in the studio when you're getting mixes from time to time and still go check out how stuff sounds in a car? Curious.
Oh yeah, no, you want to do that. You'll do one listen to the song that was just mixed with your AirPods. You'll do one listen with, big headphones. You'll do one listen where you got your stereo just cranking it out, and then you do one listen where you're out in your vehicle. So it's all these different environments, and it gives you a true indication or perspective of exactly how anyone else out there is going to hear it, because that'll be their vehicle you know, for listening.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Um, it's been talked about and documented, and I'm wonder if sort of the shock of you turning around and seeing Mike back there playing is sort of died down a little bit for you, or at what point did it just become, oh yeah, he's back. I don't even need to think about it anymore. From the beginning shows were like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think that's what it was. It was probably, you know, like the first 5, 6 shows, it just felt a little surreal because, yeah, I'd turn around and, we're like both looking at each other, whatever, smiling or making faces at one another. But, yeah, I'd say, maybe after the first 5 shows, then it just became like, okay, it's cool. Like this is a great new beginning once again, you could actually say. And it just feels right. I've said it in several interviews. It's funny, you get away, and, Mike Mangini is a phenomenal drummer. He was incredible in the band, and he has his style of playing and being involved in the music and the writing and all that stuff. And then coming back to Mike Portnoy, I was just reminded, and we even talked about it while we were writing Parasomnia. And it's just he has a very specific vibe and feel and groove to when he plays, and you
Yeah.
you just feel that, and then you're reminded, and you're like, wow, you know, yeah, there it is, there it is. That's exactly what it used to be like, and it's
That's
good.
cool.
It's like a coming home, right? For all
Yeah,
of
yeah.
us, for all of us, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I think fans were certainly excited to see it, and yeah,
yeah,
I think everybody was hoping at one point one day, it would happen.
oh yeah. Well,
You
yeah,
guys are
everybody was like, you
also
got to do it. Yeah,
you guys are also
yeah.
playing A Change of Seasons, which was announced, which is
What?
interesting because you have all these anniversaries. Right? Yeah, how's that coming for you? 30th anniversary of that song,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
insane.
yeah.
And that's another huge just favorite for everybody. I mean, if there was any reason to want to see the show, I think for a lot of people, that song alone is a reason to go see the show. So I know
Oh
you guys have
yeah.
played it before, but for this is first time with Mike back in a long time. Um, you know, take me back to, go back to that song when you decide you're going to play that and relearning that thing.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate because lyrics come right back to me. Like as you know, I've never used a teleprompter, and I can memorize words extremely fast. So for me, it was just a matter of like going through it and just going through it a couple times, and then I'm like, okay, I'm there. And with when it was announced, like when Mike said, "Hey guys, how do you feel? I think it would be really, really cool for this US leg that we bring back a change of seasons." Like it's been several years since we've done it together, and we were like, "Yeah, it's got to be done. It definitely has to be done." So we're pretty excited to play that, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun even just to be able to run through it in rehearsal. It's just going to bring back a lot of memories, man. And like you can go out online and you can go back to when we were playing that, when we were first, you know, out in support of that album. And it's really wild to see and to hear some of those shows because there was just so much energy and excitement behind that, which it will be that will be rekindled or reignited when we're out on this leg as well. So we're very pumped and very stoked, and I can't wait. I'm sure I'm going to be going through that song with the guys tomorrow when I'm in rehearsal. Yeah,
Yeah. I can only remember when that song came out. I mean, just for me and everybody that we were big fans of the band at the time, and we just
yeah,
had never heard a song like that. It was so
mm,
mind blowing and so perfect and everything. The ebb and flow in it and the big ending
yeah.
and
I
that
agree.
part that those notes you're singing at the end. I mean, the whole thing was just it was like,
Right.
oh my God, I've never heard
Yeah.
anything like this.
Well, and that's great, Roy. Thank you so much. But did you know that that song was supposed to originally we were wanting to put that on Images? Of course, you would know. You
Yeah,
would
yeah,
know.
yeah. No, I know
Yeah,
that had
I
been in
mean,
the lore of the band for some
yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah, and obviously the label at the time was just like, oh, yeah, you guys aren't. You're not gonna put a 25-minute song on your first album with us. And we were like, oh, okay, all right. No, they were good. You know, it was Atco back then, and Derek Oliver was our trooper. You know, he was our right hand man there, just going to battles and making sure that we could produce the album that eventually became Images and Words. But yeah, originally the idea was to be able to also include a change of seasons. But I think it was, I think it made even more sense. It gave it even more attention. The
Yeah.
fact that it came out as an album with all the other live tracks. And so I think things do, to a certain degree, things do happen for a reason.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
had worked out also, you had built a good fan base at that point, based on Images and Awake and everything. So I
Mm
think
hmm. Mm hmm.
that definitely helped bring it some more
Yeah.
attention. Yeah, there's a few other things to talk about. There's a Parasomnia comic book that was just announced as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is really cool. The pictures look interesting. I don't know too much about what's in
Do you know
there,
that I
but
haven't seen it yet, Roy?
well, is it fully made? Is it just
No, I
is it
know
still kind
it's.
of in the
I
works?
mean, it's in the works, but I've kind of like just it was the initial conversation that this was going to go on, and this is what these people wanted to do, and amazing artists, and so I'm just kind of like, hey, to my manager, hey Frank, or whomever, let me know when I can view it, and
Right.
and let me know when I can look at it. But I'm even interested to just like with this comic book thing, just to be able to sit down and read it and read through it and
Mhm.
see what kind of a plot or a storyline that they've created behind it. And of course, I know that like John Petrucci, if you were interviewing him right now, he could, whether he'd want to reveal it or not, could probably tell you, the meat and potatoes of it. But at this point, I'm kind of like just sitting on the sidelines going, I want to look at it as a fan. So give it to me as a fan, and let me be, the whole entrance into it is like anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
Hmm.
excited to see that. Very cool.
Yeah.
Also, a really cool a performance video just came out a few days ago that you guys did, I believe, with Ernie Ball, where it's from the
Mm,
studio with three songs. I think it's Night
yeah,
Terror, Panic Attack, and Midnight Messiah. It's
yeah,
recorded beautifully. I mean, it's
yeah,
super professionally done.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
what can
live
you
off
tell
the
us about
floor. I
that? I
mean,
mean, that was
that was amazing. So John Petrucci came up to us, obviously, Ernie Ball, and he said, "Hey guys, how do you feel about doing this? You know, it's called the Big Sound Series." And I remember seeing a couple of our other artists on this particular platform, and he said, "You know, we've been invited to do this," and we were all like, "Let's do it." You know, it's a no-brainer. I think this would be terrific for the band. Obviously, kicking off like we are with a new album, a reunion, not only reunion album, but reunion tour. This makes sense. So, yeah, we were in the studio rehearsing for a tour. And the film crew, the Ernie Ball, has this film crew that shows up. Really, really cool guys. Three guys were there. And one of the guys acting as the director. And he said, listen, we're just going to be walking around the room, we're going to record it, and you guys do your thing, and we want it to be live. We want it to be, as you would do, as if you were on stage right now, but it's a little bit more intimate, a little bit more personal, because you're right there in the studio with us and you see the way that we rehearse. And so it was a really great vibe, and we went through I think we probably said, let's do like three run throughs, right? And just that's it. It is what it is. And one of the, I think it was like, with me, I was kind of like the first run through. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm freaking done. It's done. And then we did it. We did it two more times because we just said, oh, let's see what happens. Maybe something really cool, like energy wise, will happen. And we did it another two times, and then we were all like, we're done, and then Jimmy T just he took uh those. We just went, okay, it's going to be for that song is the first take, for that song it might be the second take. I'm not sure exactly, because I walked away and I said, I'm fine with whatever you choose, whatever takes you choose, because it's all live. It's like
yeah.
right through the song. No going back, no fixing it, no nothing like that. And then Jimmy Chi just took it. He mixed it. I think he did a freaking phenomenal job. He just, you gotta make it sound pretty much like it would be. And like when it came out, I hadn't I had been given the mix previously, and but I wasn't looking at any visual. I was just listening, going, "Oh wow, we really did kick ass that day." And then when I saw the visuals, I was like, "Oh man, this looks so freaking great." Yeah. So it came
It
out.
sounds really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it really
Absolutely.
does. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can
Hmm.
check that out online. I don't know if it's on the Ernie Ball page or it's on the Dream Theater page, but it's out there on YouTube
It'd be
and
on both.
everywhere. So
It's on
yeah, yeah.
both. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's
Um,
on all our socials. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
when you're doing like the big tour, and you guys had so many dates. I mean, already this past
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Um, are you you to protect your voice? I mean, do you do special things? Are you not talking the day of the show
No,
or
no,
that kind of
no.
stuff? Or how?
No, I'm talking. Yeah. Well, here's what's happened, Roy. So, last summer, at the beginning of last summer, um, I had this friend of mine, Victoria Thompson, and she used to be an opera singer over in Europe, and she enlightened me to the fact. She said, I was having problems with my voice, James, and I discovered this guy down in Toronto. He works at the Voice Clinic, and he's a speech pathologist. He's like ENT and all that, and he works. And she said he has this place called the Voice Clinic in Toronto, and she said it is crazy what he did for me. So he manipulates the voice by pulling, like literally he pulls down. They check your voice out first. Like they go down with the scope and all that. And he has an ENT that works there right with him. But anyway, his name is Aaron Lowe, and he's worked with Sting, Trent Reznor, Sam Smith, Shawn Menendez, opera singers all over the world, and he's done wonders for them. He even worked with Ozzy about 20 years ago. And anyway, so I said, really? And I didn't kind of believe. I said, I should go down and see how the chords are doing, and because I felt good. So I went down there. I saw this guy Aaron, and I am not kidding you, Roy. It was like an epiphany. Like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe what you're doing for my voice. I'm singing like I did 30 years ago. It's crazy. And Aaron was like, yeah. And I said, when did you start your practice? Because I really needed you when I hemorrhaged my voice back in 1994. And he said, that's when I started my practice. I said, you got to be kidding. And I'm only hearing about you now. Anyways, so Aaron, I went to see him once a week for about 3 months, 4 months. And then I was seeing him actually when I recorded Parasomnia. And then just to go out live, and then I'd see him, and he showed me all this stuff to do before every show, which I've been religious about, and I've been doing it, and I can go out there, and I mean, my voice gets stronger as the leg goes on. So, not that it's not strong when I start a leg, but it gets even stronger. And so all I'm really doing is making sure that I'm doing that. I'm incorporating Aaron Lowe's methods. And then I'm like taking my vitamins, drinking a lot of water, eating healthy, like a lot of protein in my diet, vegetables, and not so much fruit, but like bananas and oranges and stuff like that. And then yeah, a lot of vegetables with hummus, and then plenty of sleep, and yeah, and it just looking after myself and
Yeah, got to
exercising.
these days.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, exercising is crucial too. So I do that, but I can do a lot of that stuff in my room, like all the stretching and push-ups and pull-ups and all that stuff. You can do a lot with just your body. You don't have to necessarily be in the gym, and that's what I do. So that, and just try and keep mentally keep sound, because it's hard. You're out there and you're like every single day you're in a different city and you're out there doing 2.5 to 3 hour shows every night. So yeah, I mean, everybody has to really rise to the occasion each and every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it paid off. You sounded great. The band sounded great. I'm really excited about the
Hmm.
tour coming up. We
Hmm.
forgot to mention also that you guys are playing full Parasomnia, Change of Seasons, and then apparently, I think Mike has said this, all new songs, a whole bunch of other kind of extra songs throughout the set, right? That you guys are working on.
You know what? It's just going to be a great presentation of who and what we are presently with Parasomnia, and who and what we've been throughout the years. And I think that's really what the fans are coming there to hear their favorites. And it's impossible for us to touch upon everyone's favorite, but we hope. And Mike has always done a superb job with the set list, and he thinks like a fan would be.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when we were in this city, he's very analytical. I've said this several times. He goes through each and every tour that we've done, each and every time that we've been in this region, that territory, that city, and he makes sure that he's bringing in something new and something refreshing for that particular show. Yeah,
Well, it
so
was it was
it's
like
great.
that for the 40th anniversary. I mean, a lot of us were going, well, what can they open with? What's going to be?
Yeah,
We're
I
always trying
know,
to
right?
predict the order, and then it comes
Yeah,
on, and it's like Metropolis is the opening song, and you're like, well, duh, of course it,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
exactly, right?
then
Yeah,
straight from that into Overture and Strangers Are Vu, and you're like, oh my God, he nailed it. Like, this is
I
perfect. It
know.
was such a good vibe to start the show. It
Yeah.
was
No,
killer.
I mean everybody was just freaking pumped. And that's just it. That's what I'm saying. You know what? I think what really solidifies why he does such a great job with that is because I think Mike is the biggest, he's first and foremost a fan of music. And he's the biggest fan of who and what we are, but not only that, just music in general. I've never seen anybody so freaking immersed and fully, completely in just music, period. Whatever the band might be, he knows them inside and out. And so it's great. It's just great. And I think that's really helped to, enhance every moment throughout this tour. And that's not taken away from the rest of us. I mean, hey, like we're all out there, we're unified, we're having a great time. I think that is one of the major components that really everybody, it resonates with everyone, that we're out there just having a blast, doing what we love to do, and being able to produce and put on a show as we are. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
I think that's a perfect way to end this, man. I appreciate you
Yeah.
taking some time. I'll see
Okay.
you in a few weeks. I'll be at Orlando. We'll hope to say
Okay.
hi
Beautiful.
and check out that show. All right,
Well,
man.
bring
Hey,
Mickey with you. Bring Mickey with you.
you got it. All right,
Okay.
man.
Good seeing you,
Talk
Roy.
to you soon. You too, man.
Okay,
Bye.
man. All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for checking out the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on all our socials and ProgReport.com. And we'll see you all again real soon. Thanks.